SpaceX is up with updates of Starbase, as the installation of robust steel plate and the pouring of concrete at the orbital launch mount are underway. These crucial steps mark significant progress in preparing for the Deluge system, enhancing the capabilities of the launch site. The next booster testing is also around the corner, but that's not all. The upcoming Artemis 4 and Artemis 5 moon missions will proudly feature European astronauts joining NASA on this interstellar adventure. How will SpaceX's steel plate solution combat the roar of 33 Raptors? And how close are we to the next booster testing? Dive in this video to unravel the answers. At SpaceX's Starbase, the team has been hard at work implementing modifications to combat the roar of 33 Raptors. One notable update is the installation of a steel plate and its accompanying manifolds at the launch site. These modifications also extend to Starship's hot staging, which involves the addition of new rings on top of the booster. One area of focus has been the ship's quick disconnect plumbing. After temporarily being removed, it has now been lifted back onto the QD arm. Notably, the plumbing has been positioned higher than before, aligning with the adjustments made for hot staging and the future ships. The connection point to the ship has been raised by approximately 2 meters, ensuring smoother operations during gift operations. As Kaysen emphasizes, it's crucial to prevent any damage to the Raptors. Concrete pouring has been a significant activity at the orbital launch site. More than 200 concrete trucks have been deployed for repairs and maintenance of the launch pad. This ongoing process provides a tangible sense of the massive infrastructure required for successful space missions. The continuous movement of concrete trucks day and night highlights the round-the-clock commitment to support operations. This extensive concrete work is in preparation for the new Deluge system, one of the key modifications planned for the second flight. The installation process for the Deluge system includes the placement of massive Deluge pipes in pre-dug trenches. SpaceX has been diligently installing the water line, utilizing new water tanks. Notably, a steel plate was carefully maneuvered into position using cranes and secured beneath the launch mat. After multiple lifts and placements to ensure a perfect fit, the installation of the manifolds commenced. These manifolds, crucial for moving water into the steel plate, were transported to the launch site and meticulously installed. The scale of the pipe connection highlights the significant volume of water expected to flow through this system. The dance floor, a structure used to work beneath the booster on the orbital launch mount, made a notable return. Although there is currently no booster present, its reappearance suggests fit checks with the new floor and steel plate to ensure continued accessibility to the plate. Additionally, the Deluge manifolds, responsible for directing water into the steel plate, were rolled out to the launch site. The sheer size of the pipe connection serves as a visual reminder of the substantial water flow expected. Late at night, SpaceX initiated the installation of these manifolds. With the remarkable progress SpaceX has demonstrated, the prospect of booster testing resuming in just a few weeks seems increasingly plausible. Before that, anticipation builds for pad and Deluge testing at the suborbital launch site. Observations of Ship 25 and ongoing work below it likely indicate inspections following its recent static fire campaign. Despite losing some thermal protection tiles, the ship appears to be in excellent shape overall. Over the past weeks, the chopsticks have been positioned near the top of the tower at the orbital launch pad. This strategic placement is likely due to ongoing work at the bottom of the tower, allowing the team to minimize any interference. It is interesting to note the stability of these sticks in their raised position, with no apparent concerns regarding cables or structural integrity. Notably, an impressive sight at the launch site was the massive American flag flying in celebration of Independence Day, serving as a symbolic reminder of the nation's pride in its space exploration endeavors. At SpaceX's production site, progress is being made on the new Mega Bay, which is a significant addition to their infrastructure. All 4 corners of the 30-level structure have now been installed, showcasing the rapid advancement of this project. While it's commonly referred to as Mega Bay 2 within the community, the official name may differ, as the first Mega Bay is officially known as High Bay 2. Another segment of the Mega Bay has been relocated from the pre-production area to the construction site, demonstrating SpaceX's commitment to assembling this new building. Behind the Starbase sign lies the prep operation area for the Mega Bay, where multiple segments of the new structure are being prepared and assembled at the old Mega Bay, also known as High Bay 2. This behind-the-scenes activity highlights the careful planning and execution of SpaceX's construction projects. Additionally, Booster 9, accompanied by Booster 10 on the opposite side of the bay, is eagerly awaiting the start of its static fire campaign. More information regarding Booster 10 will be shared soon, providing further insights into SpaceX's upcoming plans. SpaceX's fleet of ships is also undergoing preparations for their respective test campaigns. Ship 28 and Ship 29 are patiently awaiting their turn, with the possibility of testing commencing once the orbital launch site is occupied with Booster 9 testing. It seems that Ship 25's testing is mostly complete at this point, and there may be a rollback of the ship to make space at the launch site. Before it is stacked on top of Booster 9, a final inspection will be conducted at the rocket garden, ensuring all necessary checks are in place. In the tent yard, construction is underway for the new production building expansion. While currently in its initial frame stage, progress is evident, and it won't be long before the building is fully enclosed. The scale of this structure becomes more apparent when compared to the nearby high bay, as seen in the accompanying picture. Its massive size showcases SpaceX's commitment to expanding their production capabilities. The installation of the roof is progressing, albeit slowly, indicating careful attention to detail during the construction process. Turning our attention to the NASA's test site, SpaceX is preparing multiple test stands for ship boosters and test articles. A comparison of updates on June 30th and July 5th reveals several notable changes in the layout of the pads. Notably, a booster cryogenic testing station has been under construction for the past few months. This facility aims to shift the responsibility of cryogenic testing from the launch site to NASA's. Upon closer inspection of the concrete pad, it becomes evident that ground support equipment lines are connected to the booster cryostation. The presence of a hose strewn across the pad suggests recent purging and testing activities, similar to what was observed with the ship cryostation earlier in the year. This development indicates that SpaceX is actively preparing the infrastructure necessary to conduct cryogenic testing of boosters in the near future. Also, one notable observation is the possible introduction of a new boost-to-thrust puckshucker. This component has been filled with concrete, and now 13 mounting points are visible among the concrete. These mounting points will soon be equipped with hydraulic thrust ramps, which are expected to be installed in the next couple of weeks. The purpose of these ramps is to press against the thrust puck of the booster, which is responsible for transferring the thrust from the Raptors to the rest of the vehicle. Its structural integrity is crucial, as any failure during flight could result in the destruction of the entire Starship. To better understand the concept, a render by Old from SpaceX 3 Decreation Eccentric demonstrates how the booster thrust puck works. Moving to other areas of the NASA's site, we come across the two halves of the structural test cage. These components are being prepared for use, likely for the construction of the Payload Bay test article. This article is currently under construction in the high bay section, showcasing the ongoing progress in testing and development. There's also updates at the NASA's tank farm, where 3 horizontal liquid nitrogen tanks were installed a few weeks ago. These tanks are expected to increase the capacity and readiness for booster testing. Recent developments include the connection of additional pipes to the tanks. Although the tanks are yet to be linked to the tank farm, the presence of liquid nitrogen, combined with liquid oxygen, indicates preparations for simulating the loading of cryogenic liquids under high pressure into the ships or boosters. In proximity to the liquid nitrogen tanks, we encounter the liquid oxygen tanks situated near the top of the NASA's test site. 2 tankers are seen actively offloading new liquid oxygen into the storage tanks. This is a promising sign that booster or ship testing is imminent at NASA's. SpaceX has dedicated efforts to upgrading and constructing new paths and test stands in recent months, further exemplifying their commitment to progress and innovation. Shifting our focus, we divert our attention to deliveries at the rocket garden. Booster 10, positioned on self-propelled modular transporters, has been prepared for transportation. Rather than heading to the build site, Booster 10 is heading toward the NASA's test site, marking a first-time occurrence for a booster. This development raises expectations that Booster 10 will undergo testing at the Booster Cryogenic Testing Station in the following weeks. Moving along Highway 4, we reach the Sanchez site, which encompasses the air separation unit, substation, and serves as a construction site for various assemblies. This includes the steel plates for the water-cooled steel plate system and Mega Bay 2 sections. A comparison between 2 photos taken on different dates showcases the progress made at the site, indicating the continuous efforts and growth at this location. At the Sanchez site, the ground fabrication building has found a new home after being evicted from the build site due to Phase 2 of the Star Factory expansion. Concrete has been poured over the yellow vapor barrier, forming the base for the main section of the ground fabrication building. This facility has been historically instrumental in constructing and assembling various components such as jigs, mounts, and tank farm assemblies, primarily involving the welding of steel. Another notable addition at Sanchez is the booster transport stand, previously used for Booster 5 and then staged inside Megabay 1. Now relocated to Sanchez, it is likely being retrofitted to support the weight of a booster filled with cryogenic liquid during cryo testing on the pad at MASA's or the launch site. Moving further right, attention is drawn to the 3 steel plate manifold assemblies. Additionally, a steel plate assembly has been observed where a length of pipe has been cut off the smallest of the 3 steel plate manifolds. The reason behind this decision is believed to facilitate transportation and easier fitting in the vicinity of the orbital launch mount. In a significant development, Booster 10, the next Super Heavy booster, following B9, was rolled out to Massey's test site under the cover of night. Before its engine installation, the booster will undergo rigorous cryogenic proof and pressure testing. SpaceX has dedicated this extensive test site at Massey's to conduct meticulous cryo tests, avoiding interference with ongoing infrastructure work and future flight campaigns. Notably, the advantage of this location is that it does not require major road closures for the transfer between the production site and Massey's. Elon Musk recently shared a revealing image of the underside of a Starship, providing a closer look at some significant details. One of the notable features captured in the image is the presence of infrastructure resembling a test stand leading to Ship 25. This test stand serves as a platform for conducting various assessments and experiments. Upon closer inspection of the image, a hydraulic power unit can be seen, indicated by a small box. It is worth noting that Ship 25 is the last ship equipped with this HPU, as Booster 7's HPU encountered a famous failure during its first integrated flight. Directing our attention to the Raptor vacuum engines, the 3 larger engines located on the outer edges of the engine section, we can observe that they have been securely bolted to suborbital pad B, which serves as a test stand. This bolted connection ensures the engine's stability during firing, preventing any deformation that may occur. This is particularly important as exhaust flow separation can be a challenge at sea level. It is important to mention that before the actual flight, the SpaceX team in South Texas will remove these braces to allow the engines to operate without any obstructions. Up next, Artemis 4 and Artemis 5 moon missions will include European astronauts. The European Space Agency is set to join NASA astronauts on upcoming moon missions as part of the Artemis program. ESA Director Joseph Ashbacher revealed that the Artemis 4 and Artemis 5 moon landing missions, scheduled for 2028 and 2029 respectively, will feature at least 1 European astronaut. The specific astronaut for each mission is yet to be determined, but Ashbacher expressed his happiness and pride in NASA's reliance on Europe as a partner in providing critical elements for the Artemis missions. Speaking about the partnership between ESA and NASA, Ashbacher emphasized the importance of maintaining a good dialogue and meeting expectations for all missions. He expressed his commitment to ensuring that ESA's contribution to the Artemis program is fulfilled. ESA was an early signatory to the NASA-led Artemis Accords, which aim to establish international peaceful norms for space exploration. With the recent addition of India and Ecuador, the number of Artemis Accord signatories has reached 27. ESA's involvement in the Artemis program extends beyond sending astronauts to the moon. The agency is contributing the service module for NASA's Orion spacecraft, which will transport Artemis astronauts to the moon. Additionally, in partnership with Japan, ESA is supplying a habitat module and a refueling module for NASA's Moon-orbiting Gateway space station, which plays a crucial role in Artemis infrastructure. As part of the agreement, ESA will receive 3 flight opportunities for European astronauts to participate in Artemis missions. However, specific details about the flights and astronauts involved have not been announced by ESA. The agency continues to send astronauts to the International Space Station, with Denmark's Andreas Mogensen scheduled to launch on SpaceX's Crew 7 mission on August 15th. European astronauts are also undergoing training with private company Axiom Space, which utilizes SpaceX hardware for space missions. The first European astronaut from this group, Marcus Want from Sweden, is set to launch on AX-3 in late 2023. Discussions are ongoing regarding the inclusion of John McFall, a former Paralympian trauma surgeon who was selected as an astronaut candidate last year, in future ISS missions. Adaptations to the space station's interface may be necessary to facilitate MMC Fall's flight, and further study is being conducted to determine the feasibility of his mission. ESA member states are actively engaged in discussions about the future of European astronauts in space exploration. Considerations include the development of spacecraft and infrastructure for mission. These discussions will continue at the ESA Space Summit on November 6th and 7th, providing an opportunity for further exploration of possibilities. While the Artemis mission already underway with the successful launch of Artemis 1 in November 2022, the first crewed mission, Artemis 2, is scheduled for November 2024. Artemis 2 will involve a circumnavigation of the Moon and a return journey. The crew for this historic mission, announced in April 2023, will be the first to embark on a lunar journey in over 50 years. Canadian astronaut Jeremy Hansen will join 3 NASA astronauts in exchange for Canada's contribution of Canadarm3, which is slated to launch to the Gateway space station later in the decade. Looking ahead, NASA plans to follow up the Artemis 2 mission with Artemis 3, a surface mission that is projected to take place no earlier than 2025 or 2026. The timing of the subsequent Artemis 4 and Artemis 5 missions will depend on the readiness of SpaceX's Starship system, which will serve as the lunar lander for Artemis 3. Up next, NASA's James Webb Space Telescope, hailed as the successor to the Hubble telescope, embarked on its mission on December 25, 2021. Its primary objective is to delve into the mysteries of the universe's origins, studying the earliest stars and peering farther into the past than ever before. Currently positioned at Lagrange Point 2, approximately 1 million miles away from Earth, the JWST is the largest and most powerful space telescope ever launched. A new 3D visualization released by the James Webb Space Telescope offers viewers a captivating journey through time and space. The video showcases over 5,000 galaxies in stunning full color and 3 dimensions, starting with relatively nearby galaxies within a few billion light-years of Earth and concluding with the majestic Maisie's Galaxy. Maisie's Galaxy, located a staggering 13.4 billion light-years away, provides a glimpse into the universe as it appeared roughly 390 million years after the Big Bang. This visual odyssey not only transports us through space, but also rewinds the cosmic clock, taking us back to a period when the universe was a mere 1/3 of its present age. The video draws on data collected by the Cosmic Evolution Early Release Science Survey, focusing on a region called the Extended Growth Strip. Situated between the constellations Ursa Major and Boötis, this region is home to approximately 100,000 galaxies and was extensively observed by the Hubble Space Telescope in the early 2000s. Among the galaxies featured in the visualization, Maisie's Galaxy holds particular significance for astronomers. It serves as a prime example of the early galaxies that the JWST is designed to study. The telescope's infrared capabilities enable it to examine the universe with unparalleled precision. By observing in the infrared spectrum, the JWST can overcome the challenges posed by the redshifting of light from early galaxies. As light travels across vast distances, its wavelength stretches, causing it to shift into the infrared range. Infrared observation is crucial for studying these ancient galaxies. Rebecca Larson, a researcher at the Rochester Institute of Technology, an investigator for CEERS, emphasized the significance of the JWST's capabilities. "This observatory just opens up this entire period of time for us to study," she stated. "We couldn't study galaxies like Maisie's before because we couldn't see them. Now, not only are we able to find them in our images, we're able to find out what they're made of and if they differ from the galaxies that we see close by." The CEERS data will provide valuable insights into the formation of early galaxies. Astronomers are eager to explore the growth patterns of these celestial bodies, questioning whether they follow a steady, gradual progression or if their formation resembles the explosive burst of a firecracker. That was all the Starbase update and space news for today. Will Booster 10 be the next to fly? Or will SpaceX skip a few steps after the next flight and move to a lower booster? Share your views in the comment section below. And if you want to see more interesting videos, don't forget to subscribe with all notifications enabled so you don't miss out on the latest news on SpaceX.